So we're going to pick back up. We had to relocate, but we're going to get back into it. Lord willing, this is continue to be edifying. Let's get it back.
This is Zechariah chapter 5 and verse 4. It says, I will bring it forth, saith the Lord of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief, into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name.
Right, and him that sweareth falsely by his name. Right, and what's part of Esau, Edom, the house of whom we already clarified as the thief. Okay, how does he swear falsely by the name of the Lord? First and foremost, when they get when they get inaugurated as president, what do? They swear in on what appears to be the Bible. All right. Also on the back of their dollars, it says what? In God we trust. Okay, so they're still swearing falsely upon the Lord. The reason why I say that is because though they swear in so-called on the Bible and put in God we trust on their dollar bills, they don't uphold any ordinance that the Lord have ordained to be good. Esau Edom, he does his own thing. All right, so he has everybody believing that the way that he's living is godlike, when it's really the Satan, that the spiritual demon Satan that he's worshiping, man.
That's what I wanted to say. You said for starters, the inauguration, they claiming to be us. They claiming to be the Israelites. Yep. You know, they claiming to be God's children, the people of the Most High. You know, that's really, they stole our identity before, you know what I'm saying, they did anything for the most part, you know? Yep. Now that, you know, the 1948ers established, so-called established that, but before that, what did they bring in? White Jesus and all of that? That was part of it too.
And it shall remain in the midst of his house.
If I may elaborate on that point, because that's a beautiful point that the brother brought forth. It's because here it is, they're over in the land of Israel right now, like the brother said, proclaiming to be us, don't uphold none of the law, statutes, and commandments. All right, they can't grow anything over there. The Most High is right now, that land is cursed because of the individuals that's in it. All right. And this is why, that's the point I wanted to get to. This is why when Esau Edom claims to be us and telling the whole world, we're the two JEWs, the rest of the world looking at us when we say, no, we the true JEWs, they looking at us like, nah, y'all ain't. Why? Because we don't have no power, we don't have no money, all right? We don't have no authority to change rules and laws. So like we just to the eyes of the world, we just niggas on the corner losing our minds. All right, we talking about, according to the world, we're talking about things in the Bible that don't make no sense. All right, so that's a major plagiarism, and it was that in Wisdom of Solomon. It says how we look at it, be it through the scriptures and the things that the Most High revealed unto us, they're counterfeits to us, man. Their ways are non-biblical. All right, we can get back into that though. Y'all about to have something real quick? All right, we'll get back to that.
It says,
and what Esau's gonna have, he's gonna pay for all these things that he's doing, swearing falsely on the Lord's name, man. Go ahead.
And it shall remain in the midst of his house, and shall consume it with the timber thereof and with the stones thereof.
Yeah, so this is why you see these chariot sightings or so-called UFO sightings heavily upon America. It's because the Lord got the chariot sitting here waiting, because it's pending doom, pending judgment that's coming to Babylon for all the iniquities that it's done. Changing the world upside down, flipping the ordinances, tearing up the atmosphere with different poisons. The oceans full of plastic and trash where sea life can't, or the animals in the sea can't live. Okay, you can't breathe in clean air. You're breathing in, be it through these chemtrails, you're breathing in all types of harmful chemicals that are damaging your organs and slowly killing you off. Okay, so this is why the Most High has those chariots sitting here, because when that judgment is time to be put down, the angels of the Lord are going to play a very important part. Even when you go into the book of Daniel, the 12th chapter, the first Daniel 12, and I believe it's 2, where it speak about Michael and the archangel. Let's get it. Bible good shot. Right?
This is Daniel chapter 12, verse 2. I'll start at verse 1. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people.
Right?
And there shall be a time of trouble.
So read that part again. It says standing for what?
Which standeth for the children of thy people.
And who's the children of the Most High people? That's Israel. So it says that Michael the archangel shall stand for the children of thy people, because the times that we're coming into, we're gonna need divine intervention. Michael the archangel is one of the head angels, I believe the head angel under Yahweh Shai, man. So he's gonna have to intervene along with Yahweh Shai and the rest of the angels. Go ahead.
And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time.
And that's why there's going to be a time of trouble since before. Read that again. I'm butchering this.
Such as never was since there was a nation.
Such as never was. So the things that are coming to this earth via judgment, things that we've never seen before. Now, we've seen some crazy things, via through the history that we've looked up. Certain such as how Esau Edom has been doing things to Jake, cutting out doing what is that, C-sections on women that are not pregnant without anesthesia, all right, or even certain events where let's say like so-called natural disasters, tornadoes tearing places up, tsunamis, things of that nature. We've seen that via the news and things like that, but it's something that's coming that's 1,000 times worse than that. So the angels are going to have to intervene. And Michael the archangel is going to play a very important role. This is why we wanted to get this. Is he's going to play a very important role in this judgment that's coming to America, man. All right? So this is why the angels and the chariots of the Lord are staying upon this place. Was there more to that?
Yeah. Even to that same time. And at that time, thy people shall be delivered, everyone that shall be found written in the book.
Yeah, that's the spirit, because how will the people be delivered, as we've been going into, be it through the chariots, the strangers of our salvation. So as these angels, we can get into that 2nd Ezra 13, because as the angels, they're going to stay upon the house of the thief. They're going to do a lot of destruction, but they're also going to deliver the elect. All right, so it's going to be deliverance and destruction that's coming via through these chariots, man.
This is Revelation chapter 18, verse 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues.
Right, and that's talking about what? The elect getting translated into those chariots, man. Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins. Because what is that? Can we get that precept real quick? And then we get the Ezra's, the 1 Peter. I believe it's 1 Peter 3 and 18. Right? So it's saying, come up out of her, my people, that you be not partakers of her sins. Because this place is going to be, it's going to be a great destruction that comes to where it's going to be the flood all over again via through fire. All right? This is what's coming, and the Most High is going to preserve his elect. Whoever has it, Bible Shah.
You said 1 Peter.
The righteous shall scarcely be saved. I may have quoted it wrong, but the righteous shall scarcely be saved. And this is why. What did Ezra say? He said, "Woe is me, woe is me. Who shall deliver me in those times?" Because he knew that he was given a vision of the things that was going to happen. 4 and 18.
This is 1 Peter chapter 4 and verse 18. It says, and if the righteous scarcely be saved, where shall the ungodly and the sinner appear?
Right. It says, and that the righteous shall scarcely be saved. Scarcely is by what? By the hairs of your chinny chin chin. Right? But the Most High, why I said scarcely is because we're all going to be here. But the Most High, he has predestinated who his elect is and who's going to be preserved from that hurt. But they're going to scarcely be saved. They're going to be pulled out right when things are starting to get real bad, right when the chariots are starting to really destroy things, the thermonuclear missiles hitting different places of America. The righteous are getting beamed out of here.
Yeah, and like you said, it's going to be a time like never before. I wish he would have waited to bring that Revelation 18 out. Really, that could have been brought out after the 2nd Ezra 13, because 2nd Ezra 13 lets you know the type of events that's going to be going on, as well as what the chariots are going to be doing. And when we get into it and explain what they're going to be doing, that's some movie type stuff, man. All right. But really, it's some biblical type stuff because the movies get it from the Bible. All right. More so speaking about the movie War of the Worlds, man, which shows exactly how it's going to be. All right, just as it's explained in the second Ezra 13. Man.
Second Ezra chapter 13 and verse 1, it says, "And it came to pass after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night, and lo, there arose a wind from the sea, that it moved all the waves thereof. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven, and he turned his countenance to look."
Yeah, and it's like y'all express that.
And he turned his countenance to look, and all things trembled that were seen under him.
Right, and I know because it says the thousands of heaven, and we went into that in the book of Psalms where it says that the chariots of the Lord are thousands, even 20,000. So this is the thousands of heaven. This is the whole set of heaven, which are the chariots, man. Okay, you
Get it again.
okay, come on.
This is Psalm 68 and 17. It says the chariots of the Most High are 20,000, even thousands of angels.
Mm-hmm.
The Lord is among them, as in Sinai in the holy place.
That's right. In Mount Sinai, that's a representation of the nation of Israel or Jerusalem. All right. And the thousands of heaven, as you know, as the brother brought out in that precept, is talking about the chariots, man. Okay. And this is gonna be a great event that's coming to pass, man. The Most High is about to he's about to send that host. All right. But we continue on in that, unless brother want to make a point, we can get back into that.
It says, "And when he turned his countenance to look, all things trembled that were seen under him."
Hey, they were not the disciples that we read in the book of Acts, the first chapter. Did not they gaze? Were not they amazed at, looking at the chariot, how the Lord was taken up? So how much more the heathen nations that believe these chariots to be UFOs? They're going to tremble. They ain't going to know what the hell to do. So this is what this is going into. There's going to be a great trembling that comes to the people that have not believed in the things that are written within the scriptures concerning these vehicles, man.
Yeah, they've been programmed to tremble. When you watch that, what's that Tom Cruise movie, War of the Worlds?
Yeah.
And Battle of L.A., Independence Day. They put all these movies out, and they show what you should do if you are in a chariot sighting. You need to run. You need to go the other way. There ain't nothing you want.
Yeah, because you're going to have some of them people. I remember ID4, it was on a building with like welcome signs and all of that. If I see any, right? If I see any gathering of whites and hear the sound of something charging up, I'm not about to stand under it.
Right.
You clearly see lights and hear like, hey, hold up, man.
You better jump off the building.
It sound like a beam about to hit this. Like, what up? But like the brother was going into, they put these things in. We are dealing with the devil, man. We are dealing with the devil. So the things that he see that's out of the scriptures, that we bring out in the scriptures, that he even understands for himself, that through his research and all of that, he can't tell a lie unless he know the truth. All right? So that's what he does. So he put in the movie that they're our enemy. No. They're a heathen enemy. All right? That's our way out of here. Okay? If it could be on the will of the Lord. Man. Okay? So while everybody else is running from them, I'll have a welcome sign. Shit, I don't mind having a welcome sign.
It says they're making their side movies out of the Lord's movie. Their side movies are fiction, right? You go ahead, brother.
Second Ezra chapter 13 and verse 4, it says, "And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth faileth when it filleth fire."
Right, so that's I believe it's talking about those that concentrated heat that's coming from those chariots. Because we read that again.
And
you go ahead.
And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice.
Yeah, so it's a blast of fire that's going to be coming out of these chariots, man. All right, it says all they burned which heard his voice. So there's going to be concentrated heat coming out of these chariots, man.
Yeah, it's not like a super sun. What's them? Is it dang, I'm trying to think. Like how the whales, what's that called? Yeah, like that, like a to show like the beam. It ain't not. It's talking about concentrated heat, man. Okay. They like it's gonna be actually a creature yelling. These is the vehicles and the chariots of the Lord, man. All right.
I was watching this one video with showing lightning bolts, man, because that's what it is. A chariot's blast is a lightning bolt in essence. There ain't no surviving that. You know what I'm saying? That's not as potent as a chariot. That's gonna be more controlled. Okay, but I seen a lightning bolt come from the clouds and look just like a chariot, man. Look just like a chariot beam up, or a chariot just coming down blasting with just a focus of concentrated heat, and you get like zaps. Imagine something just hitting you and just waving on through like the movies, man. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna be able to survive. Nobody can survive a regular lightning bolt. You know? I done seen motherfuckers walking straight up. All you see is a flash of light. They laying down with their foot behind their head. You know what I'm saying? It's just an instant transition. You know?
Pain.
You don't even get to feel that. You out. Right? Wake up. Your body's still feeling it. You know? You feel it in the flesh. You can't even get there on time. You know what I'm saying?
And that's a terrible sight, man. You know, this is why it's a strangeness. This is why the apostles they were gazing. You know, when they seen the amazing amazement of these chariots, it's like, damn. You know, and as I mentioned, as far as Ezra's, you know, when he of course he seen the prophecies that were coming to pass, including the chariots. He said, "Woe is me, who shall be able to deliver me in those days, man?" You know, because of things of this nature, because that's the power that the chariots hold. They could do what the hell they want to do, because the Lord ordained them to do what the hell they want to do. All right?
Yeah, like he it's like a vision. He was seeing a vision, so it's like he's like in there pretty much walking through it. You know what I'm saying? Kind of, I don't know if you ever seen the movie Clock Stoppers. Dude, dad ended up creating a watch that can stop time, so it slows everything down. He's just walking through while everything moving slow. It's like, just picture that, you know? He's seeing the missiles come and seeing the heat waves and the mushroom clouds, seeing all these different people all bloodied up and in agony and in pain, man. You know? Hey, am I gonna be good in those days? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But this is what has to happen, man. And then the longer this place is prolonged, the more wicked it gets, man. It's not getting better. They ain't cleaning the water. They ain't cleaning the air. They ain't going back to real food, so to speak. No, they're gonna keep continuing in their wickedness, man.
Yeah.
So judgment must come.
Yeah, that's why it says in Matthew the 24th chapter, that's why the times are shortened, or no flesh will be shaved. You know, like just laying back off what the brother was saying. Yeah, let's get Matthew 24, 21, something like that.
Matthew chapter 24, verse 21. For there shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time. No, nor ever shall be.
Right, and that's the same the twin precept we brought out in the book of Daniel. It's going to be a time like never before. This is what it's talking about. You know, when you have a famine, people eating each other because of lack of sustenance. All right, when you have like we're going in specifically with the chariots, when you have the chariots doing their thing, that's a time of tribulation. When you have war, when you have race wars, you have people fighting each other in the streets, killing each other. Okay, that's a time of tribulation. But let's continue on.
And except those days should be shortened, there shall no flesh be saved.
And except those days should be shortened, there shall no flesh be saved.
But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened.
Right, but for the elect's sake, those days should be shortened. And the Most High is going to cut these days short. Now, if you notice, here it is, 2025. We're already in damn near towards the end of May. We're almost halfway into the year. The Most High is speeding up the times and but at the same time, shortening the times. Okay? And within this space of time that we've seen in 2025, there's a lot of prophecies been coming to pass, man. So the Most High is cutting his time short because, like the brother mentioned, the brother made a beautiful point, is that wickedness and iniquity is constantly increasing. All right? When we not eating real foods no more, man. For a long time now. We ain't eating no real foods, man. All right? So we have no true sustenance. Our kids are picking up education in schools from people that change their sexual orientation. All right? We got the jobs working you hard as hell. You getting a little bit for a lot of work that you got to do.
Really, in essence, the school system in itself is not even supposed to be there. You know, that's how programmed we are. We think school is normal. Not talking to you, but I'm talking about people in general. That is like, that's what you're supposed to do. Send your kids to school. No, you know, a lot of, even back then, like because before school, a lot of people weren't educated. Like there wasn't that many people that read like that. You know what I'm saying? You have people that read, but there was educated people that read. But the rest of people just worked and shit like that. They farmed the land. You don't really need to know. You just need to know how to count money. Just like they got, you know, Negroes in the hood. They'll drop out of school and be one of the mightiest hustlers ever. Hey, Floyd Mayweather. They make fun of him for not being able to read. You know what I'm saying? And hey, but you know how to count that money though. You know what I'm saying? So the point is that you could, you know, you was able to be successful without education. They just programmed people to think that was the case, so they could program your children. You know what I'm saying? While they're in school, you know, and what do they program to be? Again, them damn worker bees, man. Okay, they program them to the whole grading system, and that's why I always say every time I speak on this is that they don't need to do that as much anymore in the school system, because when I was in elementary, it was A, B, C, D, and F. Okay, and then it was what, like for A it was like 100 to what, 89 or something like that.
Yeah,
92, and then it was like 92 to 85. It was like a B, and then in the C it's like an 84 to 76. And then it was 76 to 64, and then under 64 was an F. And then it dropped. The percentages dropped.
Yeah.
Right? And then it started dropping more. But then eventually, I'm as a parent sitting there looking at a chart that's red, yellow, and green, and it's a line, and it's all like subjugated. It's all not subjugated, but subjective.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they're doing the good. They're approaching good, and I'm like, well, is they fucking up or not?
Satisfactory.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, satisfactory, approaching, satisfactory, unsatisfactory. You know what I'm saying? So they're showing it like that, pretty much because it's not. They don't care about them grades no more. But the point is, when they structured it like that, they were structuring the grade system. It wasn't about strictness. It was about them programming kids to shun them out or accept them in. A's and B's and C's categorize children, okay? And it caused you to treat them a certain way. But they don't have to do all that because they got ADHD out. They got, whatever, hyper violent, whatever, whatever that shit Elon Musk got, where he don't got no emotional sensories.
The autism.
No, it's not autism. It's a certain type of autism.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's a certain, you know what I'm saying, to where he's emotionless. Because there's autism where a person's mathematically approached. There's autism where a motherfucker could throw darts and paint a picture with it. You know what I'm saying? So autism is damn near like a weird ass superpower where you're slow but you're fast at the same time. You know what I'm saying? The Lord, gave you a quagmire, man. He crippled your ass and gave you a superpower so you could be super normal. Right. You know? But the point is that, you know what I'm saying?
He violated, bro. You can't do that.
Crazy. His last name, that's stupid. But so, the school system, again, they use that grading system to categorize children. And when you categorize children, you fit them into a demographic. You fit them into a demographic, then they're forced to live that life. Just like when you get in special ed, it's over with. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much, it'll follow you all the way up to your grownhood years. You know what I'm saying? The way they structure the classes, you sit in the class, it's like the whole school system was the beginning and root to programming the youth. But now the phones came out, then there was no need for it because you could just watch the phone. You could watch Miss Rachel, and Miss Rachel will tell you how to act and how to do this and that. And if you don't like Miss Rachel, you don't want to be categorized that way, you can go watch some P-popping, you know what I'm saying, videos. So it's tons of programming, and the teachers are there just to, keep the regulation of sit down. As a kid, you're a kid, you're supposed to be, experiencing things, energy, running around, playing, you know what I'm saying? Like out of school is like in school. Nobody goes outside, everybody's sitting down in front of something, and they're learning from that device, right? You go to school, the school system, there's a certain time you have to come in, a certain time you leave. You have a certain amount of time to transition from this spot to that spot. You know what I'm saying? That's the structure. That's just like this traffic. That's just like going to work. It was pre-programmed. Okay? And then if you're late, you get penalized. You're tardy, you get penalized. At work, you're tardy, you get penalized. It's programming for you to be a worker bee. Okay? And then it's also programming for you to be obese. All right? You sit down as a kid, don't move anywhere, and then they're quizzing you constantly, and they're putting you under what? A high amount of stress, man. Answer this question, read out, do this, do that. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody ain't good at reading in front of the class, man. You know what I'm saying? That's why you got people that are bankers, people that are orators, people that are athletes, people that are warriors, people that are scribes. So how the hell is one person going to teach all them people at one time, man? Okay? But again, they'll sit you in them classes, stress you out, right? You sitting there on stress, you get up, you're going to eat. High fructose this, high processed that. All right? Then you sit and you play for about an hour, if that anymore. Because they, I talk to my kids, they sung or something, they did some lazy ass shit. And I was like, man, I ain't for PE. Then when you get to high school, you definitely ain't running around like that. Unless you're in a sport. Okay?
They saying you up for the prison system as well.
Well, the prison system is structured the same way. They ain't setting you up for it. It's just the same system. You know what I'm saying? It's just the exact same system. You know what I'm saying? Because if they were setting you, the propaganda setting you up for it, there's other areas like rap music, movies, black culture, that sets you up for prison. You know what I'm saying? School conditions you for prison because it was that system. Prison was really built off of school. You know what I'm saying? Again, once you go into that Prussian school system, that's where it comes from. The cafeteria setup, the lines, and all that. Like you said, it's just modeled after the same thing. Okay, because it's meant to what? Regulate you and farm your ass to do what they need you to do. So if it works for kids, it's gonna work for adults. All you do is need a gun instead of writing them an F. You know, it's the same thing.
Either way, you got somebody watching over you, telling you when you go eat, telling when you can go. Yard time is recess. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like that.
You get an hour. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? There's hierarchies. There's groups. Like they got the Bloods, the Crips, the Latinos, and this. You go to school, there's jocks, there's nerds, there's emos. Okay? But it's all a program. That program in itself is a program to categorize people, to divide and conquer. You know what I'm saying? A high school prom this, a high school that, the most successful. All right? And then if you're not good at something, they ostracize you. All right? And you go into the 48 laws of power. One of the devices of controlling somebody is ostracization. Okay? To excommunicate them. Then that makes them transition. which is normal. That's a normal thing because if you're a leper, you'll get ostracized. All right. You know, hey, within our day, if you're right, you're not right, then hey, King David got ostracized. All right. The Lord ostracized him. The Lord ostracized us as a nation. Okay. So it's a form of control, man. All right. Whether it's on the right hand or on the left, it's still a form of control. Okay. And Esau, again, he used that in the school system, but again, like I said, he doesn't have to use that in the school system no more because now you go on Instagram and that just naturally ostracizes you, right? See somebody just taking fucking 20s and doing that in your face, real after fucking real, you know, walking around their house, marble floors, swinging around, you know, then it makes you feel left out.
Yeah.
All right? Now you feel left out, you come depressed, you go on chasing. Okay, and it's even better than school. Because school, they'll tell you to become a president, this and that, and you don't really see it, right? But on Instagram, you see it.
Yeah.
You see it, man.
Right.
You know, oh, that's why women are out of control. All these big booty bitches on beaches, it's like 1,000 bitches in compared to women in the world, and all these women that are regular think they can do that. You know what I'm saying? So they follow and they're more easily. Can we get that? To recognize a woman's a weaker vessel. The woman, and it also said the woman was first. For Adam didn't fall, but the woman fell first. You know, because our women are very easily manipulated. Let's get that lead away, silly women, captivated. Yeah.
This is 1 Timothy chapter 2. Verse 13, it says, for Adam was first born, then Eve.
Yeah, so we got that's a hierarchy. We ain't gonna get into it, that's a different subject, so we're gonna continue.
And Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in the transgression.
Mm-hmm. The woman being deceived was in the transgression. From the woman was gave birth to sin. Okay, she was the first to actually go off, man. Okay, because then I was watching the video. Nigga woman, they've been programmed so much that they're not accountable like their father Esau. That they say, oh, so Adam let us eat the apple. No, you ate the apple. You nuts. Keep saying fucking apple. I don't know what the fuck. Keep eating the fruit, the forbidden fruit, which is sin, knowledge of good and evil. God damn, Satan fucking around. But
that's the program.
Yeah,
That's the program. And through the Lord, of course, we broke out. But it just goes to show you how embedded that they do that shit.
Yeah, so that and that fruit, and it's still happening to this day. That fruit of evil, all right, because we only knew good. We were innocent, just like kids. All right, they only knew they didn't mean no harm. They didn't have no malicious intent. All right, so we only knew good, and we only did good because that's the only thing we had around us. Right? It's like being a pampered child, man. You wake up, the food's ready. You know what I'm saying? You eat your food, and then after the food's done, you go and play. There's a bunch of stuff you can play. There's no bad kids. There's no people that you gotta say please to. It's just a normal homeostasis type of an environment that you can live in. But through Satan, he came in with his ideas. All right? And that's what our people don't understand, and that's what we're calling our people out of. And they don't understand. They think Satan has got crack to Satan. All right? The euphoria of crack is Satan. All right? Now the destruction is the hindsight of Satan, the deterioration of the teeth and the body decay, the results. So if you apply that to women's liberation, the euphoria of being free, being able to work. Aaron Russo said himself that they use feminism to tax the whole household. That was the hindsight of Satan's result. Okay, unorderly women, which creates unorderly households, because women are supposed to be keepers at home. All right, as the Bible says. If you read that nowadays, they're so deep into their programming that's offensive. Okay. They take order as narcissism and oppression because they've been programmed that way. They've been living like this so long. And then now we're so deeply rooted into this wickedness that women, if you're married, you have to, in order to survive, both of y'all gonna have to work. There's no real household unless you're in a studio apartment that you can pay as one person paying for a whole house. But back then, one house a man could pay for it because they couldn't charge you. That it was like outrageous to charge you that much for one person's salary, for two people's salary for one person. Now, if two people are working, they can tax everybody. All right, they can charge more than what it is, and then at a point, everybody was making no money, so nobody cared. Okay, women were doing their thing. All right, running around, and then the men became more degenerate. All right, because it's crazy. Let's get these precepts out because I'm about to digress a little bit.
So 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 7. Likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife as unto the weaker vessel. And
so the woman is the weaker vessel. All right, anything you can do, I can do better. That was a whole propaganda thing. Now they don't need to do that no more because you got Ronda Rousey, you got Angel Reese, you got what's that other? Not even Angel Reese, but the other bitch. No.
The track chick.
No, man, the tall bitch, man. That went over there and got locked up.
Oh, Brittany Griner.
Yeah, Brittany Griner. Ain't no nigga. It's a woman. She is a nigga. And that's the point. You know what I'm saying? That you're really like, oh, that's a nigga. Because she totally embodied the spirit of a man. Okay? And again, now it's not taught anymore. You can see it. It's manifest. All right? And the reality is the hindsight of Satan is that these women will never be men. And now they're trying to scrap women, getting knocked out. They're talking crazy. They're being independent, making their own choices, and they're not built to make their own choices. They're built to follow the lead. It's like we're not built to regulate the world. Not yet. All right? Yahweh Shemel Shai, Yahweh Shai is meant to lead us. All right? Don't even the prophet nowadays, bro, there's no power, no angels. You know what I'm saying? All the suffering we going through. There are a lot of dead Edomites, before their time. So that's not within our understanding or controlling that network of power. Okay? And the same thing goes on up with the Most High. Yahweh Shai probably want to, he pacing. He want to come back right now. But there's a time that needs to be fulfilled. Okay? So as you go up, it's more understanding, more power. That's why the Lord said, my ways are above your ways, above your thinking. We can't comprehend why the Lord wants to wipe out Edom. But now we're getting closer, then we can see he's messing up the whole world, the ecosystem. Think in the time of Rome, you hearing that like, damn, bro, like you gonna wipe them out? Like they just ruling like Nebuchadnezzar and them. We're gonna come back, we're gonna bounce back, like and they thinking that. We start getting the internet, 5G, start getting GMO foods, body start deteriorating, then you start getting chipped, and you start realizing that you're living in a glass city with a glass roof, and you're not invited to these other places that you thought you can get to. Okay? Because Rome let they at a point they let Jake become generals and shit like that, man. All right? Now Esau still let it happen, but he has a system to where he'll use that nigga as a whipping stick or a taskmaster. He'll have one general, and then the rest of them will be Edomites ruling over him, and they just sit behind the desk. So they created a little system and perfected it.
Just like Egypt. That's what they had in Egypt. That's when they went up to Pharaoh, he was like, hey, man, you telling us, but it's the people that we're trying to have our people put in work, but you got us go to break and this and that. They like, y'all got to get it done, period.
Yeah. They had taskmasters, but those taskmasters, well, it was Egyptians, but it could have been some Israelites there as well, man. But really, they ain't, I highly doubt that because of the laws of the Egyptians, they won't put you into certain positions. You know what I'm saying? They ain't eat with Jake. Okay?
Yeah.
So, you got that? Yeah, let's get that real quick.
excuse me. This is 2 Timothy chapter 3, starting at verse 5. It says, having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof, from such turn away. For this sort, for of this sort are they which creep in houses and lead captive silly women laden with sins, led away with diverse lusts.
Yeah, now even though they're talking about false prophets, that it shows you how easy women are led away. All right, they're wanton. It means that their eyes are wanton. They're undisciplined. Okay, that's why women need to, like women, like when the man came in and men congregated, just like the word bayat, all right, which means house. Okay, that word bayat means house, and it translates to the letter B. The letter B is literally the formation of a tent. Okay, and on that tent, on one side, which is one circle at the top, one circle at the bottom, or one box at the top, one box at the bottom, however you make the beat, right? That one box was for the women, and the other box was for the men. And there was a little slit that you can transition and go to both sides. Okay, so men and women always separate. All right. Nowadays, women want to be in the middle of what men doing and shit, man. You know, fellas come over, she want to sit and wander around and shit. You know, y'all watching a fight or something, she want to sit in the midst of it. Nah, man, you go watch the TV in the back with the women, man. Women weren't even into that shit for real. Okay, they were cooking. Women in the kitchen doing their thing, man. All right. But now, hey, Trick Daddy and Uncle Luke came out and changed all that, man. You know, now everybody together, music, all that, and now you got shootouts and fights. Women just invite random niggas over. You know, all kind of nigga shit, man. All right, that's why we within GMS we separate the men from the women, man. All right, like the women don't. There isn't a congregation of women because y'all just learn, sit and learn wherever you're at. Okay, there is no I hate you, shut the fuck up. No, it's just like you don't. There's no reason for you to be doing anything. Okay, you're like a little child helping me cook. There's nothing you can really do but sit and watch TV. Okay, and I'm gonna fix you your plate. There's nothing you can really do to help me but stay out the way. You know what I'm saying? And that's how it is within this ministry. That's how it is walking the straight gate. Okay, for you women that are watching, that may be watching the elders or watching other brothers, just sit in the cut, man. Now, if you want to be a prophetess, then that means you're supposed to be a helpmeet unto the man of the Lord. So if you get a dream, go give it to the man of the Lord and let him translate it, let him break it down, let him edify with it. All right? That's not, oh, I had a dream. That means the Lord dealing with me. That means I can break the rules and start teaching. That is not the case. Okay? You're supposed to sit there and say, okay, hey, what's that? Was it Rebecca and Zerubbabel, I believe? Whoever two is in tandem with Zerubbabel, right? Even the story of Judith, okay? Judith was womanly the whole time, man. But then the Lord gave her ability to do a mighty work in his name, but she still remained a woman at the same time. That's the thing about you women, y'all understand how to remain a woman and be striving for the will of the Heavenly Father. Okay? Replenishing the prophets. Y'all, all y'all women that want to teach, and none of y'all be handing out bottles of water. None of y'all make garments for the free ski. You know what I'm saying? I ain't talking about like, just charge what you made it for, so you can just get more material. You know, a prophet will hit you off. You know what I'm saying? If they got it, they'll bless you. Nah, if you making a business, ain't you being a prophetess, man? As you being a salesman. Okay? If you got a gift to, you want to say something, buddy?
No, I got a precept.
Go ahead. Let's precept.
This is 1 Corinthians chapter 14, and I'm going to start at 33. It says, for the Most High is not the author of confusion, but of peace, as in all churches of the saints. Let your women keep silence in all the churches, for it is not permitted unto them to speak, for they are commanded to be under obedience, as also saith the law.
Yeah, so that stops confusion. All right, because women aren't programmed to operate in the same fashion. You weren't made to be a stoic. Okay, you weren't made to deny emotions because you're a nurturer. You need to be all running off emotions. Okay, but you need to be under order and have those emotions regulated. Okay, you don't just put no brick on the pedal of a car and then let it go. That motherfucker need to be governed, man.
Yeah.
Of course, that car is fast, can do this, do that, but it need to be driven by a human.
Yeah.
Same thing with a woman. Oh, you can give birth to kids, you can cook, you can clean, you have ideas, but it needs to be governed by a man in order for it to be worth something. And you can see women don't create nothing for the world. Okay? They create hot combs and shit like that, man. They create things that are more how can I say more useful for themselves.
Women consumer based.
Yeah, they're consumer based. That's why advertisers always sell stuff and use women. All right, that's why every movie has to have a love story because it leads away silly women. And then Satan comes in within every love story within the movie is always connected to adultery. Okay, so they're programming you to go and find love from it, and it's always a nigga. He's rich and he's I beat this hoe up, you know. And then you got the old poor ass nigga Titanic.
Can't save a
Sneaks
hoe.
on the boat. He sees what she's really worth. You know, taking her on dates she ain't never been. She ain't never had a nigga sit on the front of the ship with her and shit like that. And talk. I ain't never had nobody to talk to me like that. You know?
I ain't never had this. Never had this.
Low key, that's why all these women are defending Cassie right now. Because she done found her little simp to take care of her after Diddy did all that nasty, freak off stuff to her. And he found value in her.
Yeah.
Because they want to be freaks and then have somebody to save them like he saved Cassie.
Yeah, but it's manifested. A lot of people, a lot of men ain't with that shit no more.
Kind.
You know? A lot of men, there's still something that, oh, she's so beautiful. He got him a nice one. Queen. You know, they always got them niggas there. But for the bulk niggas, it's just like, man, she was because it's manifested. Court case showing how she was with all the freak offs for years.
Mm-hmm.
Then soon she's done, he beat me. That nigga probably been beat. She didn't care. You know what I'm saying? Same as like I said with all these celebrities, man. All of them are evil and wicked, and they're joined in into all this sorcery and witchcraft, man. Because in order to even get into that echelon, you got to do some type of wickedness, man. All right? Whether it's like literal blood sacrifices or just selling your soul and doing things that is against your moral compass. Okay?
1 Corinthians 14:35, it says, and if they will learn anything, let them ask their husbands at home, for it is shame for a woman to speak in the church.
That's right. Women are supposed to learn from their husbands, man. You ain't supposed to be up here in nobody's face. All right? But unfortunately, something like YouTube created a quagmire. All right? But at the same time, women need to be disciplined. Oh, hey, look, man, if your man ain't shit, you shouldn't pick him. You need to follow his ass, man. But that don't mean you sin with him. You know what I'm saying? That man want his food, make his food. Okay? Now, if you say, oh, I'm not making no pork chop sandwiches, I can't do it, and you married him, guess what? You got to leave him, but you can't be remarried. Okay? You have to be widowed. Because if you remarry, because let's get that, as long as the man liveth, that's as long as the law liveth. Because the Lord referenced that to our covenant. That's why Yahweh Shai had to be crucified. As long as the husband liveth, the law was going to be in existence. So his death gave us a chance at the new covenant. All right, but we ain't say I do. The ring ain't on the finger yet, so we ain't in the new covenant yet. All right, we still in there, running around, getting a touch, getting the suit, getting our gear up, making sure the cake and all that, telling everybody, inviting everybody to the marriage. Okay,
This is Romans chapter 7, verse 1. Know ye not, brethren, for I speak to them that know the law, how that the law had dominion over a man as long as he liveth. For the woman which hath an husband is bound by the law to her husband so long as he liveth. But if the husband be dead, she is loosed from the law of her husband.
Yeah, so the woman, long as a man liveth, you know what I'm saying? The woman, well, pretty much she's under that man's law. So if that nigga ain't shit, you shouldn't have chosen. Now the thing is, that's another quagmire. Women didn't choose men then. All right? Because a father is like, see they the stock of their family, but oh hell no, man. All y'all niggas is, hey, can you scoot over, brother? Just like this. Yeah, you slammed that in my line of view. I thought you were booting this. But women pretty much if you men would regulate that. Let's get that in Sirach when it says women when a man have given his daughter, he's done a great work. You know? Scriptures tell you, man. That's why the Esau has flipped everything upside down. The women do the choosing. You know, but just like these so-called red pill niggas that are waking up on a zealous side, but not according to knowledge, they'll tell you that men control the relationship, women control the access to sex, man. Okay, but in biblical times, men control both. Okay, because women are they're carnal. They're really the way the Lord made them. They're carnal because they're meant to serve men. And the only way you can serve us is to be carnally aware. Okay? You need to know how to cook. Okay? You need to know how to, empathize and have emotion towards kids and children. You know? Like angels gotta wipe nations out and shit. You can't have no emotions doing that. You know? No unrude motion. You know? Men, you gotta go to war. You can't have no emotions. So the Lord toned ours down. Okay?
This is Sirach chapter 7, verse 24. It says, "Hast thou daughters? Have a care for their body, and show not thyself cheerful towards them."
Yeah, so don't be all like letting them do whatever and hop up and run. I got a daughter, man. And her mother be trying shit every once in a while. Oh, she get these little cute. Nope. Give a damn how you lace it, just cute or whatever. She's not gonna wear that. You know, try to flip it, and I pick up. She got on leggings. Look, you about to get a big ass shirt here. You know, we're gonna start at Walmart, give you a big ass shirt. And guess what? My daughter don't even be tripping. You know what I'm saying? But if she's programmed like that, she's gonna think that is cute. She's gonna think that is woman.
Yeah, normal to her. The cycle continues.
And the cycle continues. But that's why fathers in this society needs to be around. But when fathers are around, they would never let that happen in the first place. Okay? Well, unfortunately, society gives women so much power that a man really can't regulate his testosterone within the house, giving order. Women can talk back, you can't bat them up, you know? Because really the existence of getting bat up and nothing happen will regulate everything. You know what I'm saying? A lot of niggas in Saudi Arabia will be Muslims right now. They wouldn't be talking back. Okay? Just like that, they had one chick that came over there thinking she could do that. An end up. She went over there, tried to change some shit. I don't know where she at now. She was all on the news trying to play that American game shit. She went over there looking for a nigga or something. It got catfish, or she catfished him, and he left. And she went over there trying to play politics, and it got into her ass, man. Okay? Tried to use the news and all that shit. They let her play around, and she disappeared on some shit. Or got stuck and went to prison. I forget what was the outcome. You know?
Verse 25, it says, "Marry thy daughter, and so shalt thou have performed a weighty matter, but give her to a man of understanding."
Why is it weighty matter? Because you're about to hand your flesh and blood off, and she's gonna be used to further that man's kingdom, man. Okay, so you pretty much, it's like you got dogs, man, and you don't want your dogs to get fucked up. If you giving it to an owner, you doing a weighty matter, because you can get that dog off to somebody that be fighting dogs, or to somebody that don't care about dogs. And if you really cared about that animal, you're gonna be like, damn, man, I need to know who I'm giving it to. Okay, so it is a weighty matter. And on top of that, women are possessions, straight up, man. Women are as from children to wives, daughters, wives. You know, they're really they're like cars, they're like stoves. You know what I'm saying? They're like a robot, and they're like maids. Okay, they do a lot. You're giving up a lot, man. So if I'm giving, that's why when you marry off a daughter, you get money for that, man, because that's a possession you're giving up. That's more than giving up a horse.
Yeah.
You're giving up a horse that can go outside and groom the till the ground, that can wash kids, that can go and get the water. While you at war, they're tending to the house. Okay? So women were very valuable, but for who they were. All right? Now women think they're a prize because they got some ass, some titties or something. Right. Okay? Like it ain't 7 women to 1 man. Okay? That don't make no sense. It's hard. It'd be hard to sell what you're physically worth when there's an abundance of it. I don't give a fuck. That's why they had to trick everybody with diamonds, because diamonds is so much in abundance, they had to say it was a rarity. Okay? And so they dug it all up and kept it in banks and stockpiled it, you know what I'm saying? And then gave it out in increments to make people think diamonds were valuable. Okay? So just like women, the market of pussy is not high. All right? There's little prostitutes in every fucking city, man. Just walking around. All right? So the market of pussy is not high. You can get some for $40 wherever you go. That's not much in American dollars, man. You know, even in all this craziness, you know, pussy ain't that high. You know what I'm saying?
And see, that's another thing that the society flipped, because in the scriptures, you know, men dealt with harlots. You know what I'm saying? But in this place, they make it as if it's
degenerate. Yeah, they make it a degenerate. This dude's a loser. You know,
he can't go and blah blah blah. You know, but like brothers say, you do it anyway. But you gotta meet this motherfucking woman. If she wanna go out to eat, if she wanna order that motherfucking steak, if she wants some of that bottle of wine, then you gotta go to the crib, and then it's all.
Yeah, women want to be prostitutes under their control. That's right, all it is.
High maintenance.
High maintenance home.
Instead of you giving me the money, right? Because once you break it, like prostitution is just it's speed dating. You know, it's getting straight to the it's getting straight to the point. But you know, women have recreated it in hybrid. They've made the life of a woman Constantinople, man. All right, they've hybrid being a prostitute and being a housewife. All right, now you get to walk around with your clothes, your ass out, your breasts out, and your man shouldn't be able to regulate that. You still get to be on Instagram, allowing people to look at you. The scriptures, the book of the Bible's manner of custom will tell you that women kept their head shown, and women that didn't were pretty much whores, because they want to broadcast and advertise themselves. Okay, because a woman wearing her head covered, that's true beauty. Her hair is her beauty, but your beauty should only be seen by your man. Okay, that's a respect to your man. All right, y'all get mad if a nigga look at a woman and give him attention. That's what you're doing. You're drawing attention.
Absolutely. It's like them gym hoes.
Yeah, with the leg ends going inside the ass crack and shit. You guys want to do all bend over rolls and shit all day.
Slow squats with your camera behind you.
Yeah,
I got to appreciate it. It's all about attention, you know, and making men seem like like they ain't supposed to be men. Like, what else I'm supposed to do? You know, I'm gonna hit these motherfucking lifts and I'm gonna look over his ass everywhere. It's like,
But then it went past that because niggas would be hitting that shit and seeing like these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Because it been
yeah.
desensitized with booty, man.
Yep.
You know?
They
Like you
just-
see a big ass now and then and get frustrated because like, god damn, bro. Like I can't work out with you fucking doing some shit up in here, sexualizing this shit. You can't go to eat, bitches on the table twerking and shit. It's like ass everywhere. Ankles was a commodity at a point. You know? Like, god damn, you could see pussy prints everywhere you go, and it's like, how the hell you get desensitized from a natural nature, man?
Yeah.
You know?
They had a recent graduation. I don't know how recent it was. A whole fucking graduation of females was twerking everywhere.
That was an
You know
embarrassment.
what I'm saying?
That was
And
an
you got a
embarrassment.
motherfucker on there like, damn, our culture sucks. You know what I'm saying? And one woman left a comment like, she's like, ghetto. It's like, nah, y'all did y'all thing. And everybody started chewing her ass up. Because I specifically wanted to go to the comments, but it goes to show you, a lot of niggas ain't into that. Fuck all that culture shit. Like, they did and dad with it, but they really getting out of that shit, man. Because they started to see.
They call it black, they call it like it's like an overstimulation of black culture. Like it's a term now that Jake is putting out there. Nah, it's like pretty much black people are pretty much overstimulated with nigga shit. Like they're like, you go to Walmart and see motherfuckers in bonnets and you like, god damn, bro, I can't stand that. It's like fuck, man.
Black fatigue.
Yeah, black fatigue. You know what I'm saying? It's like Jake get tired of all that nigga shit, man. Even niggas is getting tired of it.
Yeah.
Cause women ain't tired of it. They're still in fucking 1980, the 99, and 2000. They still with juvenile. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They're working with that ass. Yeah. They still there in that mentality. Like Uncle Luke, don't stop all that shit. They're still there. Yeah, they having like, okay, you in a party, you getting in, you be like, okay, oof. Let me get back to my regular life. They think that, no, nigga, stay here, let's keep partying.
The party don't stop.
It's like, nah, nigga, the real life gotta kick in.
Yeah. That's right.
You know? But women aren't meant. That's because Esau gave them the ability to stay out like that, to do what they want to do. Men were meant there to tell them, oh, look, go back inside, we're done. All right? We're done. Okay? No. Women.
We put our business out there. Hey. I do gotta appreciate your people. I thought she was looking at me.
I hate that shit. She waved that way, then she lined that shit up on him.
It's
I knew she was talking to us on the wave, but then I'm like, well, she started staring at her like, what the demon she seen over there? You know? Fire was an angel, you know? Lord's will.
This the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 36 and verse 24. It says, he that getteth a wife beginneth a possession, a help like unto himself and a pillar of rest.
A help like unto himself and a pillar of rest. Because a woman, when you get a woman that's supposed to alleviate, she covers the time. She covers a lot of time. All right? Just like shit. I'm teaching right now. I left the crib. Hey, yo, cut these veggies up. I got to make this when I come back. That's about 30, 45 minutes worth of work. That saves you time. Hey, you know, when I'm gone, I want you to teach my son this, and that. You know, and that's another thing with the men. The niggas ain't got no order. Niggas just be fucking on bitches and expect them to know everything. Nah, you gotta be prudent as a leader with your woman, man. What the scriptures say? Let's get that. If a man can't rule his house, how can he rule the church? Now, I mean, I ain't on no IUIC shit. This is not what it's all about. We're about prophecies, but men within this ministry have families. And some of us, well, a lot of us didn't grow up with fathers in our house, so a lot of us didn't grow up in order, so we don't know really how to, govern. You know,
1 Timothy chapter 3, verse 5. For if a man know not how to rule his own house, how shall he take care of the church of the Most High?
Yeah, the woman talking you any kind of way. Now, you can't control nobody. But there should be a boundary set and say, I ain't dealing with that. I'm going to do it anyway. If a woman goes down and I have her cut off and give her a bill of divorce. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that I walk in and every brother's woman is standing at attention and it's like, ain't going to happen. All right? But they should be regulated. They should have some type of sign of this nigga got me under control. Okay? Now we in Babylon, so that horse gonna buck. You know? The horse gonna buck. They pop the balloon and shit. He start pumping that shit all through YouTube. They watching that shit.
They put that shit on Netflix.
You know?
That's the worst shit ever, bro. They put that shit on Netflix.
Yeah,
bro.
it's gentrified now.
Yeah, that's the worst shit ever.
Yeah. You know? So they got all that, so you kind of fighting against that. But, you know, you should have your household in order. And if you don't have it in order, you know what I'm saying? Not saying like if you might have a badass kid, but you shouldn't be acting like ain't nothing wrong with that little nigga.
Yeah.
You know? You should be sighing bitterly at his ass.
You know, not looking over the fact that he, you know,
Should be walking around with a belt, you know? You know what I'm saying? Stressed out like I'm ill. Because the scripture tell you, beat him on the side. You know, because really, this is, you know, us as prophets, we ain't out here to be talking about family, right? But the reason why this needs to be spoken on because Esau attacked family to turn our culture into a degenerate culture. Okay? And it's order at the end of the day. It's order. That's why Jacob in the truth, because their family is dysfunctional, become in the truth dysfunctional with daddy issues and shit. Okay? Being hard-headed, can't take reproof. You gotta sit there and examine yourself, man, how you was raised, man. You know?
Because that's what the truth does, man. It allows you to become a man. All right, not only just a man, but being a man of the Lord is part of being a man. You know, it establishes that order. We didn't, like you said, you know, most of us grew up without our fathers, man. There's a whole lot of shit that, I ain't gonna say shit, there's a whole lot of things that I've learned from the scriptures and being around other brothers that are, I would say, godly men, all right, that I've learned how to order my household, how to deal with my little ones, how to deal with my woman, and, you know, ain't none of my older cousins and uncles sat me down and no, they taught me the shit that's in this world, man. This world, man. That's what we had in us, but the truth, what it washes that away, man.
Yeah, truth make you a clean man, because men gonna be men. You know, to add on to what the brother's saying, like, we grew up with niggas in the world, but you had them OGs under the tree. You know, you walking by and shit, the basketball, dribbling. Hey, come here. You go over there. Hey, man, I seen you out there. Don't be woo, woo, woo. Hey, how I learned how to walk with a woman in the street was a crackhead walk up to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, man, you supposed to be having it on the inside, man. Like, anything can happen. Walk, splash, bumping. Hey, give me a square, brother. All right, give me a square. And then I learned that day. You know what I'm saying? But that's supposed to be your father from the roots on up. You know what I'm saying? Like, to where certain things ain't a struggle for you to do. And Jake getting his truth, and it's a struggle for the transition. It's a struggle for a lot of brothers. And if you don't, let's get that scripture, put off that old ways. You know what I'm saying? Because we supposed to become new creatures. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that because we grew up without fathers, we grew up in a dysfunctional household that like that bullshit. Oh, I'm an Aries, that's why I act like that. That doesn't omit bad behavior, man. All right, unmanly behavior. Okay, we're men, so we're gonna be men naturally. We're gonna have aggression. If we're raised off emotions, then our aggression is gonna be placed on our emotions. Okay, men are meant for logic and discipline, man. The only thing could do and I'm gonna say this: the only thing could do that is consistency. Consistency. Women aren't consistent. All right? And yeah, they're very fickle. They're very fickle. They change like the moon. Their countenance change like the moon, man. As the scriptures say. That matter of fact, let's get that. You go ahead and get what you got.
It's Ephesians chapter 4, verse 22. That ye put off concerning the former conversation, the old man, which is corrupt according to the deceitful lust, and be renewed in the spirit of your mind.
Yeah, the old man, that's that when you came and you grew up and you didn't have no discipline in it. That's an old man, but it's a process to putting that shit off, man. Yeah. And if you, like the brother said, the scriptures teach you how to be a clean man. You know what I'm saying? Now, men in the world will teach you certain parts, but a lot of men in the world teach you bad shit too. Okay? It's more bad than good. You know what I'm saying? But men at the end of the day will learn how to be a man because it's in our nature. Just like women they still have babies, they're still sexualized, you know what I'm saying? And things like that. All right? But they're dysfunctional. It's been made wicked. Okay? Their natural, all our natural nature has been corrupted. That's why the Lord said, "Come out of her, my people. Come out of her, because this place is polluted. It shall destroy you with a sword destruction." This place marries, but marriage is polluted. Okay? Yeah. Family's polluted, man. You know, like tax returns, who gonna carry the kid? Like all this shit that involves family. You know, child support court. You know, mama's boys, daddy's girls, all that shit. Even though that's a natural behavior, there's still order. Okay? Only reason why it's an emotional thing. That's all it is. Girls should be around their mothers, man, and their mothers should be an example to them. Men are there to show them order and to show them what real men look like. And that's the same for the woman. The man, the boy should be around the father. All right, once they're weaned, both daughter and son. Once they're weaned, go around the father, man. Hey, grab the little plow here. You know what I'm saying? You start getting it. It becomes normal for you to fucking work. Not you sitting on your ass. You need some cookies? You want this? I don't want that. I want this. I don't want that. Yes. You know what I'm saying? When we grew up, hey, look, I'm gonna go sleep hungry, nigga. Thanks. You know what I'm saying? Even the mothers had more structure, but as you go along without that structure, it becomes degenerate, man.
More and more fathers started to leave the home, so more of that structure just started to disappear, man.
And you got generations, because our generation, like the 60s, any parent that was like 60s, I was thinking about that, bro. A lot of y'all ain't shit, bro. Like, y'all are the foundation of that twerking degenerate behavior, man. You know, because all that pee popping and gang banging and NWA, that's what, 80s? Nigga, that's 20-year-old grown-ups that was born in the 60s.
Yep. Yeah.
All y'all that was born in the 60s, nigga, y'all ain't shit, bro. Like, y'all tell me you were born in 1955 to 1970, I'm not gonna be too happy about y'all, because y'all allow women's liberation to come in here. Y'all let civil rights take over. Like, y'all, the root of y'all niggas was a bunch of, you know, y'all wanted to be incorporated with the Edomite system through civil rights. You know, y'all let Planned Parenthood come in.
Y'all
let a lot of shit happen, man. You know, men did the same men that did our predecessor. You know, afflicted him unto death, man. A lot of these niggas, man, degenerate behavior, man. You know, fucking Black Panthers and shit, crackheads. Crack epidemic came in the 80s, early 80s, but it was sold by the niggas in the 60s.
Exactly.
Them niggas ain't shit, bro.
They was 24, 25. You know what I'm saying?
Except, you know what I'm saying? I ain't talking about, you know, men that had, because it's an extreme. There was a whole lot of degenerate niggas, but the men that stood on something, they were more profound than, I don't know. To me, they're more profound than the men that's walking around today. On average, the men that are woke, it's more men woken up and have some stability. But like, you know, what's your boy name? Fred Hamptons. You know what I'm saying? You had I don't know the years, like, you know, our predecessors, Albert Bivens, Masha, you know, they probably was born a little bit before that, you know. But around that age, they had a lot of, you know, them real powerful men, man. All right? Real men that stood up. I'm about to say motherfuckers, but real men that stood on business, man. We don't see no examples we haven't seen where the prophets are, and we're a foreign entity, and people hate it. Yeah. You know, the world hates men, toxic masculinity, man. Okay, but let's get the scripture where he said, you got some precepts? Yeah, y'all can pull them out because I'm gonna keep going and I'm gonna skip over them eventually.
Sirach 27:11, it says, the discourse of the godly man is always with wisdom, but the fool changes as the moon.
Yep. And a godly man with a women, their core part is changing like the moon, constantly. All right? Just like a moon is half phase, full phase, you know, they up and down like tides, man. All right? But in the fool, most niggas that are degenerate have women-like behavior, man. Okay? They're brute beasts. Okay? Your ass smell food, you hungry. You know?
Yeah.
That's a low-level behavior, bro. How the hell are you hungry when you see something? Why you ain't hungry on your own?
That's a childish behavior, too.
Yeah.
That's just how fucking kids act.
Yup, that's just how kids are, man.
I wasn't hungry until I brought you something. I just asked you 30 minutes ago.
Yeah, you ain't mentioned it.
You said you wasn't hungry, so I went and got me something to eat.
Yeah, that's a low-level behavior. You know, not being able to be reproved because no man was there to discipline. You know, that's why, you know, hey, the Lord called us out of his world, and he lifted a little bit of that weight of that demon, but it's on us to really, it's like the Lord, you lifting that tire up, the Lord give you enough to get your hands like this, and then you push the rest of the weight. The Lord got it up to where he got it from off the ground to where you're like this with it. Now he's like, all right, now push it, bro. You know what I'm saying? And Jake they say, oh, yeah, the Lord did this. I know the Lord dealing with me. And you're going to start getting weak. Weaker and weaker. Your ass going to start, you know, no, you push.
When you hold on to it and not doing nothing with it.
Not flipping your talents, man. Yep. The Lord called us out of the world. Okay, woo. Damn, that was shit.
That was intense.
Yeah, that was intense, you know. Then you start, you know, dying daily. You know?
This is Hebrews 12:9. Furthermore, we have had fathers of our flesh, which corrected us, and we gave them reverence. Shall we not much rather be in subjection unto the Father of spirits and live?
Yeah, and that's these scriptures, man. And it requires faith, you know, but there's an order. Don't do this, don't do that. And it says we listen to our fathers and we reverence them. That means you had a deep respect and a fear for that parent, because that parent was your judge and juror. Okay? You can get things taken away. You get afflicted. You can lose a birthright. Shit have happened, man. Okay?
It says, for they verily for a few days chastened us after their own pleasure.
Yeah, like you went cleaning your room up. You wasn't shooting that basketball how you want, you know? Like Jacob get on you, man.
But he for our profit, that we might be partakers of his holiness.
Yeah. So that's why the Lord is chastening us and straightening us out, man. It's not meant to, oh man, why you so mean? Shut your bitch ass up, man. Did you do something that warrant that response? Like, goddamn. Like, look at your life. How does your life, how can you get mad at any type of affliction going on, and you look at your backstory, you got selfishness there. You didn't chose yourself over a brother, you didn't chose yourself over the ministry, or you didn't did some evil shit. You know what I'm saying? You didn't stole, you pretty much messed up the homeostasis of peace, and then get mad when the Lord drop a hammer on you in some type of way. Right? And we do it every fucking day, man. Even men within the gospel, man. Because why? The spirit is warring against the flesh, man. And no man is without sin in this world. We're going to have highs and lows, but we're supposed to be consistently up here. Sometimes you trip, but you're supposed to keep your good walk on. You know You know what I'm saying?
You look back like, damn. So now you know not to.
Look back, figure it. Oh yeah, now I need to pick my feet up. You know what I'm saying? You learn and you grow. You die daily. A lot of niggas trip and fall and do the Peter. You know, you sit there for hours and shit, get mad at it, and the reason why you trip because you were sitting there talking, not paying the fucking attention. You know. And then the glorious thing, the Lord has sent people in your life throughout your life, you know, that are in the world to test your manhood on some shit, man. You know, test your diligence, your discipline, your stoicism, man. You know, your righteousness. It ain't sometimes some tests are negative to see if you're gonna stand on business, and some tests are so like you gotta be a man. You know, somebody, hey man, go do this. I work in the medical field. Hey, go get this. Go over there and go get it. And my emotions like, who's she talking to? It's like, but logic was like, no, man, this person's dying. Go and go get it. You know, you're in a fucking like we always mention with somebody choking. They tell you in CPR, nigga, they don't say, hey, somebody call the cop, please, because that's nice. You call the police. You blue shirt, call the police now. You ain't gotta talk to me like that. Come on, man. Grow the hell up, man. You getting this truth, the same thing happens. Right. Because the scriptures tell you in the book of Jude, let's get that real quick, snatching his brother out of the fire. You know, hating the spotted garments by the flesh. You know, that's what we meant to do as men of the Lord, and that's us as prophets are doing. And that's why I said the prophet is not welcome in his own city, because we straighten motherfuckers out, man. All right?
So Jude chapter 1, verse 22. It says, and of some have compassion, making a difference, and others save with fear, pulling them out of the fire, hating even the garment spotted by the flesh.
Yeah, but sometimes because it's a balance. It ain't all rise and man, Lord, because that was a good point earlier on. It says some with compassion making a difference. All right, that's walking with people, taking the time out your day, you know, because sometimes you really got to sit down with somebody and show them how it's done because they've never experienced it before. Okay? I get it, we men, but damn, bro. Nigga don't need to be in the fucking desert to figure shit out all the fucking time. You know? But if you're willing, me personally, I ain't sitting down with nobody that ain't willing to have patience to sit down with me. All right? It's like I'm a coach at boxing. If you ain't willing to sit down and watch boxing film, bro, don't expect to have no fucking boxing dialogue with me. You're not gonna know what I'm talking about, man. But there's fighters that'll sit down and have them talks. Right? Customato and Mike Tyson had talks. They discuss fighters. They watch film. That's the compassionate part. Get your ass up and run them 3 miles every fucking day. That's the forward part, man. You're a bum. You're gonna lose. How the fuck you gonna beat him? You practicing like shit. Yeah, that's the forward part, man. I was watching this one video. The football coach had to do like 150 hills. He said do 150, take the pads off. You go by his grandma. I done paid $150 for this shit, man. And it's like, nigga, like this nigga don't want to fucking listen. He's either do 150 hills or he get the fuck on.
He gonna do that shit everywhere he goes.
Now you making this money thing. Nah, man, you supposed to get on his ass. He ain't about to waste my 150. Go run them fucking hills, man. Absolutely. 150 don't give you a right for that nigga to get out there and do what the fuck he want. I'm not paying for that. That's not what you're paying the 150 for. You're paying 150 for the pads. He can take that shit home with him. You know?
Yeah. Babu Shak, I get the NLT.
Yep.
It says Jude 1:22. It says, and you must show mercy to those whose faith is wavering.
Yeah, sometimes, hey, I mean, this bad discussion. I was like, look, I think I was like, nah, that ain't gonna be good. I make that person not that waver. Because again, everything that we're doing is all for the betterment of the of this teaching of what we're here to do. All right, and if a decision that's made isn't forwarding in that direction, then why are you making it? I don't give a fuck how irritating or how bad or how, if it ain't to further the gospel, that decision shouldn't be made. Okay? Sometimes people need to separate or be pushed out so the gospel can move forward, because that person could be pulling them back or slowing them down. Sometimes you pull them to the side and talk to them. Sometimes you gotta, circle everybody up and tighten everybody the fuck up, man. And guess what? Any nigga that get mad ain't meant to be there in the beginning. How the hell you mad at progression? How the fuck you lose by 80 and you mad because niggas calling you trash? Right. You was trash. Yeah. I see if you won by 120 and he circle y'all up and say y'all trash. That's hating and shit. Nigga make 83s and shit. You a whole ass nigga shooting all them things like you hating on the nigga. Right. Because the life and words should match up. Somebody say, hey man, that's degenerate behavior. Go and research people that do what you do and see what they fucking accomplish in life. You can't be getting up at no damn 11 o'clock, bro. You ain't gonna get shit done like that. Go look up niggas that get up at 11 o'clock. The bulk of them ain't successful, man. All right, now we're not trying to be successful here. The point is you gotta have some structure and discipline. You gotta wake up with a purpose. Our purpose is of the Lord, not of the world. You still wake up with a purpose. You're still supposed to use that, waking up at a certain time, praying, clearing your space out. Okay? I get it, Babylon's hard, but everything that makes it harder is our own comfort behavior, man.
This is Hebrews chapter 12, verse 11. Now no chastening for the present seemeth to be joyous, but grievous.
Yeah, no chastening for the present. Shit sucks when you gotta run them hills. Or really just go through this fucking affliction, man. Or to get rebuked or reproved. That shit sucks. Okay? Reproof is not comely, which means it's not beautiful. Alright?
Nevertheless, afterward it yielded the peaceable fruit of righteousness unto them which are exercised thereby.
Yeah, that's right, man. Because at the end it produces. It produces, man. So anybody, that's why I say, bro, I don't mind nobody talking to me crazy, long as you building me up. You know what I'm saying? You could come up, man, what the fuck is you doing? Why would you do that? You're supposed to do it like this, man. I get past you getting mad. You're supposed to get mad if I do some dumb shit. Why? That's the thing. Niggas be wanting you to suppress natural behavior. Drop your whole fucking oil you've been saving for months because he's clumsy. And you made a genuine mistake and you expect me not to say, man, what the fuck? Shit! Right. Man, bro, just some oil. It's like, come on, man. It's not the natural homeostasis. Nah, I'm not being emotional about it. What the fuck? Get out my house. Get out, go. Like, go. You ain't shit. Your kids ain't gonna be shit. Yeah, now you violate. Right? But when you drop, what the fuck, man? Fuck, man. Oh, damn, man. Yeah, man. Clean, man. I gotta go and walk. Everybody ain't get on you, man. And like outside of, let's go get the word merit and warrant, man. Well, merit is the main one I want.
All right. It's merit in the etymology. From circa 1200, it says spiritual credit for good works, etc. Circa 1300, spiritual reward, wages, pay, reward, thanks, merit, moral worth, that which assures divine pity, a merit, service, kindness, benefit, favor, worth, value, importance.
Yeah, because a lot of people think their merit deserves a lot of good behavior, but your actions don't reciprocate that. All right? You out here fucking off doing half-ass jobs expecting to be glorified. That's not real life. That's why a lot of these niggas be watching LeBron and thinking they could just do that shit. Your ass be thinking you could just pop up and do the LeBron shot. You don't merit that. You can't pull up to half court and shoot no threes, nigga. You be having 2 points off the bench. No, you can't do that. That you don't merit. You don't warrant that or merit that.
One more that supports that real quick. It says state or fact of deserving condition or conduct that deserves either reward or punishment.
Yeah. So when you get treated a certain way, look, have some self-respect. To say it like that, to look back at yourself and see, because respect means read means back, and respect means to look around, right? To look back at. Okay? So if somebody talking to you crazy, you're supposed to look back at your actions and say, damn, did it warrant that? You know what I'm saying? That's a man's behavior. Okay? So when the apostles come down, hey, we need to stop doing this, doing that. Look at yourself, man. Every day. When something evil happens or something happens within Israel or outside of Israel in the whole world, you're supposed to look at that shit, man. When the Lord sends out a message, especially to Israel, man.
Don't have that hard. And knock at my door mentality.
Yeah, look at them. Like that world star, that Instagram mentality. Niggas be recording niggas getting knocked out, bro. I ain't about to record that. I don't want nobody recording me. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's between them, bro. You know what I'm saying? And this place is just horrible, bro. People just do what the fuck they want and don't expect no ripple in the pond to happen, man. But there's a ripple that's coming down like a motherfucker, man. Men are tired of women. People are tired of fighting. They're tired of degenerate. You know, like, it's just chaos. Niggas are tired of women. Women's tired of men, man. You know, because they've been, you know, wilding out so much. Niggas ain't shit running in. All niggas ain't shit now. You know, because you've been choosing the degenerate lifestyle. You know, the Lord called us to peace, man. All right? We're supposed to be the peacemakers of the world. And that's what the men of the Lord, the elect, are doing, man. Being the peacemakers. Showing people what decent nature is all about. There it is. There's men. And this has happened this happens on a regular. We can come from this state and go over to Great Britain and function properly. No nothing. No. I don't know who his daddy is, who his mama is. I don't know how he was raised in high school or nothing. Based off the culture of the scriptures, we can go anywhere in this world and congregate with a prophet, and it'll be okay if he's in the right mind, man. How the hell is that possible? Right? I never do that to nobody, like meeting somebody online and then just hanging out with him because I watch his God, you know? Ooh, Dr. Umar, I want to hang out with the nigga. I don't know that nigga. You know? The men of the Lord, we know each other because we all walking the same walk, man. Okay? We all governed by the same set of rules and same set of principles. And so we have a little bit of rest here. That's why we get up and go to Des Moines or go to Texas, go to New York. Never knew these men, and be able to sleep in their house and nothing's ever stolen.
Nothing's ever stolen and nothing's ever claimed. Like, who $5? I don't know.
Yeah. No fights.
Yeah.
How many fucking niggas party every weekend for years and still be fucking shooting? We just say, you know what? I'm about to go to Florida by them brothers, man. I talked to him. He said I could come. You know, it's approved. I'm about to go down there. It'd be a good time, man. How the hell is that possible? You know why? Because the Lord calls us peace. But then y'all say we're the ones that's bad people. Bad people don't get those results. Bad people don't warrant that. Bad people, that's not their merit. You know what I'm saying?
I want to read the NLT too. I'm going to get the KJV first. It's 1 Corinthians 13:11. When I was a child, I spake as a child. I understood as a child. I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things.
Yeah, and that man, that child is like, oh, I don't feel like doing it, but it hurts. It tastes nasty.
Yeah.
You know?
I got you. I get the NLT. When I was a child, I spoke and thought and reasoned as a child. But when I grew up, I put away childish things.
Yep, like veggies and shit. Like Brussels sprouts make me excited because of what it do to my body. Ginger makes me excited because what it do to my body. When you grow the hell up, you start understanding and appreciating things.
I pulled up, my stomach was hurting. I'm like, man, I wish I had some ginger right now. I thought about Tums, and I'm like, man, fuck that. Fuck them Tums. I wish I had some ginger right now.
Yep.
But the Tums, now they got smoothie Tums. Like, what the fuck? You got a smoothie blend flavored Tums and shit. Like, man, it's that's just wild, man.
That nigga need a belt.
I need some suspenders.
Need a rope or something.
I need some defense.
Hey, that's all he got. I'm trying to move forward with this, man. We need Two pairs, man. I'll give you mine real soon. Shit, I felt bad for that.
Remember the pants going on? He can't get into no trouble because he can't skedaddle. I can't get him out like a cartoon.
He can't run from a scuffle.
We gotta get out the pants. You gonna see ass. You start chasing him. That boy come pop them pants.
He got grocery stuff through that motherfucker.
That boy scared. He want to get a grocery store. He gets stopped. You know I gotta do it, bro. Come on now.
If I may add real quick off that precept, going into that word childish goes in Strong's G3516, which is Nepals, just to back the brother up, goes into a metaphor of childish, untaught, or unskilled.
Yeah, that those unskillful things, those childish things, those base level mindsets.
You're supposed to learn. You feel me? You're supposed to learn as you walk and as you grow. You don't keep the same mentality. So you need to be teachable. Yep.
There's layers.
Yep.
You need to be how you need to be teachable. You need to be humble. You know what I'm saying? Humility it'll get you a long ass way. Confidence will too. Okay, because the scriptures tell you ain't supposed to do nothing half-minded, man. So you gotta believe in yourself. But there's a fucking process to that shit. Niggas just be wanna do shit with no experience and just walk in with confidence. No, bro, you gotta fail. And then you gotta win. You gotta fail, you gotta win, then you win, and you win. Fail, win, you start keep winning, and then you're gonna have confidence. You know what I'm saying? But they don't want to go through the failing process in this world. You don't want to die to the world, be wrong about something, be new to the scriptures,
Even in the movie, the newer Power Rangers, right? Like he chose them to be the Power Rangers and shit. It ain't just like you could just boom, hit your shit, now you all good, suited up. No, you had to like earn your keep with it. You had to, you know what I'm saying? Like, in order for it to protect you, you had to trust in it pretty much, just like this truth. You can't just say, "Oh, I got this power. I'm a man of the Lord. I'm good," and you just go strolling. No, you earn your keep. You got to earn your spot on that chariot, man. There's a progression to it. It ain't just I got a Bible in my garment and I'm good. This is a constant growth period, man. Constantly. It's like boot camp, like we always say.
It's gonna suck. It's gonna suck 90% of the time. It's only gonna feel good when you get the result. It's not gonna feel good when you're doing it. All right, that shit sucks running the whole fucking time. But when you gotta fight and that nigga tired and you ain't, and you get the victory, that's when it feels good. Jake be wanting to feel good while they running. I'm gonna have you run, and give you fucking these knee straps and float your body a little bit. Put a thing around your chest. We gonna get it's like, nah, man. My coach told me, man, all these niggas doing all this CrossFit shit and all this extra, man, just go out and hit the road, bro. Let's go and hit the road. Yeah, it hurts, it's tough. But it builds you up, man. When you running on that road and you hitting that fucking concrete or whatever you're hitting, it toughens your legs up. You get shin splits when you run. When you first start running, all your fucking shins start hurting. You know what I'm saying? It start hurting. But then you build up a callus, okay? A lot of you Jakes ain't got the callus to be in this truth, man, to walk this walk. That's why y'all get offended at how women should be treated, how the Bible says, because you haven't built up a callus, man. You don't like being rebuked, so now you're going on all-out war and saying bad things, because you haven't built up a callus of affliction, man. All right? David ain't cut up and do no whole shit when he got excommunicated from the kingdom, man, unjustly, man. All right, the action in itself was unjust, but the reason he knew it was because of the adultery he did, man. Okay, it says just the etymology of callous. It says hardened skin, be hard. Going into the adjective, it says hardened in physical sense, thick skin. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you can't be sensitive and all sentimental. You gotta be men, okay? Yeah. And this is the thing. Callous in the body is real. Callous in your spirit is real too. When you get uses, like bro, I could take a leg kick and to kick somebody. It's to kick and hit somebody. We go shin to shin. I built up the callus in that leg. It's going, man, if I do that to a regular, everyday human being, he's going to drop down on his knees if we bump shins and go meet shin to shin. Because there's nothing you can do. You know what I'm saying? Like the little, in Muay Thai, shin to shin, we just walk down the floor, whop, hitting each other's shins, whop, that shit hurt. Dreaded that shit. But then when your ass in that fight, that motherfucker kick your leg, and you whop, you check that shit and whop, and there's no second thought. Like, man, that's that shin condition. Boy, that shit hurt though.
Which that goes back to that word endurance. Yeah. You know, because that's just like correlating with that callus, endurance. You know, it's you're able to go through it.
Yeah.
You know?
Or it's make you solid. You should be looking forward to what? You should be comfortable being uncomfortable because it builds callus, man. Yeah. Like when you go through that heat, that's why it talks about, you know, what is that precept? Endure hardness as a good soldier, man. You know, because this road ain't easy. But the more you endure it, you know what I'm saying, the more solid you get, the more hardened you become, and the easier it gets in a sense. You're going to level up. You keep speaking. Let's get that word soldier, Baba Kashad. You're going to level up, you know what I'm saying? But you already been through a certain levels, you know? You ain't starting no game and you ain't going to pros with the NCAA, you know? You started at Heisman, like, let's pump this down a little bit, you know, so you can get the feel of it. You know, now pros is dealing with the top level, all right? You don't come into this truth and then you can just deal with level 10 demons and shit, man. No, there's no way you can get through something without affliction, you know? There ain't no way you get better without affliction, man. You gotta take them losses. It gotta be difficult for you. You can't sit here and just start something and expect to be automatically successful. There's a period where that is, and it's a training ground, all right? But at some point, you're gonna have to learn the hard way. There's some point. The Lord trains us. He gives us videos, we watch him, we all wooed up. But at some point, you gotta hit the highways. You know what I'm saying? And as the brother said, them levels of Satan. The Lord protects us where it's not too much for us. All right? He ain't gonna put nothing on us that we can't bear, and that requires the faith portion of it. And that's another thing. Jake don't have faith, because the only way you build faith is through victory, man. But the only way you have victory is if you fail. It's layers, bro. And if you always scared to put your hands on something and get something started, or to see it through, all right, to finish what you started. You got in this gospel and you did some whole shit. Hey, fix it and finish what you started, man. Finish what the fuck you started. All right? If you you know what I'm saying, you going on, whatever, man, fix it, finish what you started. Continue the things which thou hast learned and been assured of. And it's easier said than done. Okay? Go ahead.
You want to get that precept in the word, or just get straight into it?
No, you get the word, because we mentioned endure hardness as a good soldier. You know, brothers can look it up. They gotta get used to looking stuff up, man. Go ahead.
You get into this word soldier, Strong's G4758, stratologeo, which is to gather, collect an army, to enlist soldiers of a commander. It goes into it says to gather together as a warrior, enlist in the army, choose to be a soldier.
Can you read that again, brother? It's like, I was looking up our...
Getting back into that Strong's G. For soldier, it says to gather, collect an army, to enlist soldiers of the commander, to gather, or select as a warrior, i.e. enlist in the army, choose to be a soldier.
Yep. So you're pretty much built to be tough. You're built for tough, man. All right. You keep reading. Is there more to that?
No, it keeps repeating. Even in it keeps repeating.
All right, good. That means what? You built for tough, and that's the thing. Like nobody don't want to say that they're not tough. All right. Who wants to say that? Oh man, I'm not that tough. You know? No, man. You gotta to be tough. You know, tough is tough, man. Okay. Everybody knows tough when they see it. Okay, it's just that your ego won't let you know you're not tough when you're not tough. You're gonna make a way to say that you are still tough.
Yeah.
You know?
The moral victory.
The Aaron Spence versus Bud. Aaron Spence is tough. Okay? That was an example of being tough. Alright? Not somebody getting Ryan Garcia versus Tank is not tough. That was an executive decision to take that knee and not get up.
Yeah.
Alright? That's not tough.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah. And as soon as adversity comes, the people that aren't tough will break. But the only way that you can build up that toughness is will and fucking diligence, man. You gotta be able to you gotta keep pushing yourself to that dark place. And that's why the Lord got us in the dark place, man. Walking through the valley of the shadow of death, man.
Yeah.
We shall fear no evil, but this valley of the shadow of death. Let's get that in Baruch real quick. Not to our destruction, but to give us salvation. You go ahead. Okay.
Sirach chapter 2, verse 4. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate.
Let's get that word patient. Be patient when thou art changed to a low estate. That's easier said than done. Jake got to meditate on that, man. Be patient when thou art changed. This shit's hard. Fucking hard when you got the ability to do shit, man. To click out and crash out. All right, the crash out is just total lack of patience, man.
So the etymology for the word patience says from mid-14th century, capable of enduring misfortune, suffering, etc., without complaint.
Yeah, without complaint, man. Hey. Oh, Satan. You gotta have a whole mind shift. You can't just sit there because your mind gonna be complaining eternally. Just because you don't voice it out don't mean complaints ain't happening. Because complaints will make you think a certain way. All right? Somebody come and have you do a task that you don't want to do, and you say, okay, you and your mom, you're supposed to be here. You're gonna be mad.
Yeah.
But if that person tell you to do something you don't want to do and it's fucked up, and you say, must be because I'm tough enough and nobody else can do it. That's why I tell myself, man, why motherfuckers always sending me on these dummy missions? Or it may, because for one, I don't complain. For two, maybe all these other motherfuckers can't do it, man. And that sets me in the mindset to work and do what I'm supposed to do. Just like the Lord chose us to do this, man.
Given much is required.
Yeah, as much is given, as much is required. And he ain't gonna call, and the Lord don't call no bum ass niggas to this, man. Okay? And if you are, you're gonna fall off and be an example to the tough ones what you need to be working on. Okay?
Also, just says slow to anger and self-restraint as well. Just want that.
Yeah. That's why you don't complain. You're not letting it. You're not like a ship in a storm, man. Wave come this way, you lean that way, you go on. You just all over the fucking place. Okay? You're supposed to be a fucking rock in the water, man. A boulder. You just sink. You can't. I don't care how hard this wave crash. I'm still gonna be in my spot. Okay? Unmovable. Those that stood so stiff for the name of the Lord. Unmovable, man. You know? And it's easier said than done. And every day we have an opportunity to stand stiff for the name of the Lord to what? Build our callus up for what? The great day of Jacob's trouble. Camps like IUIC are trying to ignore it and omit Jacob's trouble. When that shit come down the pipe, that congregation ain't gonna be prepared.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, that drink go down the wrong pipe.
ain't trying to nothing. Yeah, that happened to me. We was on the phone. That shit was down our own pipe. And it was spicy. I was like, I was rolling. Hey, you see me, but I was in my bed. I drank water. I said, still, couldn't do nothing. Oh, yo, you good?
Shit rolled down the wrong pipe. You can't even let them motherfucking know. They just gotta know.
Yeah, you ain't gonna be prepared, man. That's why I said, at least he find you doing what? Overcoming, man. Okay? Overcoming is a champion for the will of the Heavenly Father, man. You know what I'm saying? Everybody want to be a champion. Everybody want to be a nigga, but don't want nobody want to be a nigga. Everybody want to be a champion, but they don't want to do all the hard shit it takes to be one, man. All right? Yahushua was not the coolest guy in Israel. Think about that. He's cool now, hindsight. He's the greatest man ever lived. But when they wanted to kill him. Okay? I haven't garnered that much hate. All right? So I'm walking around and it's like, that nigga go right there. This motherfucker, man. You get mad, gritting your teeth and shit. You gotta really be going in, creating jealousy. You gotta really be potent in your operation, man. You know? They want to kill this ministry. You know what I'm saying? They would kill the prophets. Yeah. You know? Yeah. We probably got niggas that won't kill us, man. But I wouldn't know. Lord's protecting. I'm sure it is, because they gonna come out when that veil is when that floodgates is open. They gonna come out, man. That's another thing y'all niggas need to know, bro. Out here being friends with the world, there's niggas out here that they ain't got no loyalty, and there's niggas out here that won't kill us.
Yeah, the scriptures say so they killed the prophets. All right?
It says that shit, they shall kill the prophets. They shall cast some of us into prison for his name's sake. We shall be beheaded for Yahushua's sake. That your own family should turn you in. Okay? You gotta, hey man, these scriptures are real, man. These prophecies are real. And you should not be smart. Don't take pride in hindsight, man. Take pride in being prudent. You know? It's easy to see anything in hindsight. If I jump off something and break my fucking leg, I guess right. That was too high. Yeah. The person that looks like, nah, I'm gonna fuck around and break my leg doing that shit. That's a smart person. Jake sit there and just and they do some dumb shit. Well, that's because I did that. It's like, no, that don't make you smart though. Okay? When Esau came and chipped everybody in IUIC, the both of them take that shit, that's because Esau the devil.
Like, they was telling us about that before. Damn.
But hindsight, it's useless. Yeah. Okay? Yeah. It's very useless. It's just a manifestation of what happened. It's only useful to the people that were prudent. Yeah. Okay? Only useful for the people that's prudent. You know what I'm saying? Anybody got something?
Okay. God says, for gold is tried in the fire and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity.
And that's the best that could have been pulled out, because at this time, those men that are gold, all the infirmities, you know, that adversity, that furnace of adversity is burning off all the impurities within us. And if you do not have tough skin, you're not going to be able to take that heat. Okay? Jake could barely sit in a real sauna for the betterment of their health. How the hell you gonna sit through real affliction and you can't sit in a go sit in the sauna and warm yourself up to it's a regular shit, bro. If you can't sit there and have discipline with diets, sit in the sauna, be in the heat and deal with it, how the hell you gonna deal with adversity, man? Like it's just gonna pop up. Oh hell no, I wouldn't do it. Your ass can't sit in the fucking sauna. How the fuck you gonna take somebody disrespecting you? Like, let's be real here. You can't pass up a hamburger, but you gonna be able to pass up on a starving and not being able to eat and they offer you the chip. How the hell? Right. How the fuck you gonna do that, man? Like, let's be real here. If it's not happening now, you're not gonna do it later on a major scale. That's why you need to examine yourself daily. Don't invite yourself to fucking terror and shit. But if adversity comes, don't take it as going the other way and trying to go around it. If you told yourself this is the way I gotta go to get to where I gotta go, and adversity start happening, you need to be that football player with them little fucking things. You need to punch through that shit.
Yeah, I forgot one of them definitions we brought out, but it said misfortune. You can't control misfortune. That's just shit that's happening.
Yeah.
You know, things happen in our daily lives.
Yep. And you gotta endure, make your call of election sure, man. Okay? Being able to take them hits, man. But that don't mean curl up in a ball. Like I said, you can't sit there and let somebody punch on you, curl up. That ain't your enduring. That's you being a bitch. You need to be still focusing on your goal. Okay? That's just like getting hit. You get dizzy in there, you still start swinging. They're gonna be like, oh, that boy got heart. But if you get hit and you start curling up and backing up, and he hitting you, they're gonna call a fight.
Right.
You know? Like, you conceded. Clearly. So your actions show how you're enduring too. You know? So us as gold, if whatever's really in you, adversity is gonna come and try it. And if it's really in you, it's gonna remain. Okay? If you're really a man of the Lord, and adversity comes, you're gonna still be a man of the Lord at the end of the day. If you're charitable and you're broke, you'll still be charitable. You know? Simple and plain. So with that being said, we'll give all praises unto
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Chakadash.
A couple honest apostles who are elders who do well. Blessed salutations to you brothers out there teaching your truth sincerity. So,
Shalom.